Morning, everybody. Nice to meet you. Let me just hook up here. Well, Walker's a pretty tough act to follow, but I wanted to introduce myself to you all because many of you probably have perhaps heard of me, but you have probably worked more and more with my team. So today is a lot about revealing what my team has actually done and what my team is going to continue to do to follow and realize the vision that Walker just described. I will get out of the way so you can see what we're talking about. Sorry. Well, listen, guys, today is really about what we do as a seller growth team for you. And if I had to kind of capture in a couple phrases what I'm all about, what I think will be about what you're all about, it's about, can I swear in this venue? Taking the bullshit out of selling. Something that Walker, we talk about quite a bit. Something I don't often swear, but I felt it was very appropriate in this kind of a crowd. It's about paving the path, and quite frankly, that's what my team does. Seller growth. Many of you've asked, and I've talked with some of you over the last couple of days, what I do, and I am here to make your worlds better. I'm here to help you make more money with less effort, worry-free. And those are the three phrases I want you to walk away with today when you think about seller growth, is about making more money with less hassle, worry-free. Before I get into sort of what this means, I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm here and how I got here, and a little bit about my team. I'm here because I like being around entrepreneurs, and I like being around people who have ambition and spirit and insight that I myself don't have. I like being around people that complement my skills. I was talking with, again, a number of you last night. What do I do for this team? Well, I think it's a great question. I think it's a great question that you should know what we do for you. And when I think about what my background is, it's largely been through the world of performance marketing. Prior to coming to Teespring, I spent a number of years in the affiliate marketing space, both at eBay and with Google. And what I learned in those spaces is that the best group of people to work with are sitting in this room. And it's because all of you know how to find opportunity. And you know how to find the space where there sometimes is none. And there are times where you have to go around things and figure out things to make things happen. And so that's one of the reasons why I go from a place like eBay and Google to Teespring, because Teespring's all about opportunity. And that's why I have worked with many of the folks on my team to help continue that mission. The folks on my team, just so you're clear on seller growth, we represent everything from seller development, which is account management, customer support, and community. We represent marketing. We represent all sorts of different support features for you globally. So the idea is to make sure that whatever you do at Teespring, you feel that we're taking the barriers out of selling. Something that I think about as a shorthand for what our group represents, and you heard me talk about paving the path. Well, there's a real science behind it, and in many ways, it's a mnemonic for me. It's a shorthand for what we have to remember every single day when we come to work. Our group is around building proactive relationship management through you, working with you very closely. If it's not there, you don't have the support you need to grow. Secondly, it's about building aspirational policies. When I talk about that, I mean pricing has to be something to stretch for. It has to be something that feels good. It has to be something that you have goals to hit. And secondly, it's got to be about policies that feel fair. And oftentimes when we're in positions of dealing with lots of your properties, have to pick the best path to make life fair for you and make life fair for all sellers. So that's a tough job actually to face. And so what we try to do is, it's an aspirational policy, because we can't, for example, stop crime, but what we can do is help prevent it, and we can build systems to help you protect your properties. What we can do is help make life very motivational for you and provide you things that make you want to grow, and that's what pricing policies are all about. Last, on the valuable side, the V part of PAVE is about providing great merchandise and great services for you all. So again, relationships, policies, merchandise and services, third leg of the four-legged stool. And the idea is, as time goes on, you will all get a much better appreciation of what this business is about as we roll out more and more products, and as we roll out more and more services to address everything from being able to help you learn about our business, being able to help you, support you in the design world, being able to think about all the barriers that make life difficult for you when you're working on your own in the worlds that you live in. And lastly, but not least, the world that I also work in, part of the group that's part of my group, is thinking about the platform. So also, in addition to relationship managers, community managers, marketing, I also lead the group in terms of defining our platform for the seller platform. So many of those decisions and input come from you through those teams, and that's how we make decisions. So I'd like to think, and I know in speaking with many of you that you have lots of suggestions, in some cases lots of concerns, but in many cases I want to feel that you have been heard in the first half of this year. So when I think about what we did in the first half of this year, I feel quite accomplished, and I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. It's very hard to think about this crowd of individuals who have all different needs and figure out how do we solve everybody's problem as quickly as we can. And when I joined Teespring about 10 months ago, I recognized in speaking with many of you in the audience that there were a lot of areas that we could actually improve. And so when I think about what I had to do in my first 90 days on the job, I had two very big jobs at hand. Number one, I had to establish myself with my own team. Coming into a place like Teespring, where you got folks like Vince and Bridget and many of the account teams like Craig and the European teams, it's a tough act. You have to fit in, you have to add value. And my job was in the first 90 days to define a strategy to talk about this framework, PAVE, to help us get aligned around what we have to do. So first task was getting through my first 90 days with the plan. Second task was answering to you all, which was building a plan for the first half of this year that actually delivered on some of the things that I know were important to you. And believe me, coming into this job, I had a long list of things that needed to get done, and it felt it was super important to be able to systematically knock them down one by one. And I want to take you through at least what we feel we've accomplished in the first 2 quarters of this year. And believe me when I say, I know there's more to do, and I'm sure I will hear a lot about it in the next 2 days. But keep in mind that we're listening, and it's really important that you know that you've got, through your account teams, through Walker, and through all the support teams with Anthony, we have ears out in the community, and we've built a community so that you all can exchange information back and forth. So let's think about how we've helped you in the last 6 months make more money. First and foremost, we launched for the first time at Teespring a program that was geared at volume discount in our loyalty program. But just so you know, the loyalty program is not just about money. It's not just about money, because what is valuable to you all is, from what I understand, it's almost as valuable as time. So our idea in loyalty is to bundle together not only volume discounts, but bundle together services and features and a whole package for you so that you feel that the more you do with Teespring, the more you get. And when I came out to Teespring, it seemed as if every single seller was the same, and that's not true in the reality of it, right? There's different types of sellers and different life cycles of your life within Teespring where you need different things. And so we've geared a life cycle program around what you need, and that's based in our loyalty program. Second, we launched the T-Olympics. And the T-Olympics was about taking the paradigm of Teslas and big ticket trips around the world and flipping it on its head, because we thought most valuable right now for you is volume discounts. So we baked in the money right into the volume discount. The second most valuable thing is keeping you all motivated, because being out there on your own is not easy. And we actually, working with folks like Bridget, know that you need support and you need motivation on a day-to-day basis. Because when I go to work, I got a whole team of people around me that talk to me on a daily basis. When you guys go to work, sometimes you have teams, sometimes you don't. But the T-Olympics is around building community, around best practices. So if you've noticed, almost every month in the last year, we've launched different events to help you see different aspects of the business. Volleyball, it's around teamwork. We had basketball. We had different point plays of different things we thought were valuable. And now we have ways to go into new platform dive. So by the end of the T-Olympics, we hopefully gave you roughly 7 to 8 different skill sets that you may not have thought about before in how you grow your business. Something we heard really loud and clear, and something that Walker's been talking about just about your own brand, is really getting closer and closer to moving towards helping you own your own customer fully. And we're taking some baby steps, I admit, but the first most important step was giving you a tool to help you download your audiences and be able to find them in Facebook. And I think in many ways this was to help you become better at targeting within Facebook and hopefully lower your CPAs, because the more relevant you are on Facebook, the higher quality ads you put in Facebook, the better off you'll be in your advertising. So first step in helping you build your own ownership of your customer was giving you the hash buyer emails. And we'll talk a little bit about more where we're going next. Full color. So one of the things I think that will open up a world for you in terms of selling is giving you the ability to launch any t-shirt with any design anywhere. And so full color was one step in getting you closer to being able to take your designs to a new level. And boy, have we seen some really impressive things coming out from this group. I mean, the world is going to change from the couple colors to the full color when you realize what it looks like on mugs, when you realize what it looks like in the types of printing that we're going to be doing over time. So full color is going to be a capability that I believe will get more and more important over time. Buy it now. Something we heard over and over again. Seems pretty simple to turn a button to the words buy it now, but we did it. And we finally did it because it's a change and a reflection of our paradigm and how we're thinking about the business, both from a campaign perspective and from an e-commerce perspective. So that should signal to you that we are looking to do more and more things that feel like an e-commerce site beyond just campaigns. One of the things that was super important to me after spending 3 months in the fourth quarter with some of our marketing programs, we were learning quite a bit in our marketing programs in fourth quarter. One of the things that we really learned, and I think we took very quick action on, was just being super clear with you all on what you're opting into. So one of the first steps we did in Q1 was to show you how important that is to us, is we really clarified out what the marketing opt-ins are. So there should be no feeling of distrust whatsoever. You know exactly what you're opting in for. We've taken care in describing exactly what our programs do, and you saw from Walker what the programs actually can do for you. So we're hoping that you continue to opt in. And we also started launching our buyer emails. So the more and more content you submit, the more money you can make because of the fact that we now can feature your content on Teespring emails, and you'll be able to make a passive income through a revenue share. And we hope that many of you know about this program. Happy to talk more with you about it one-on-one as later, but it's a really important program to help you get your content out to a wider audience because of the way that we market. Two programs that are I'll call it in the works, that are going to develop over time as time goes on. One is our seller affiliate program, where we have many, many great influencers out there that help bring folks like you on board, and we want to continue to support that. So we've revamped our program, and we're going to continue to do so. But we encourage people who have their own audiences and can teach and add value to the process to apply as affiliates for our program, so that we can help you build your business once again and make more money. And then secondly, we really want to take the great coaches and trainers that we have within this crowd and be able to help you all do better with the things that you feel are keeping you from growing. So we're going to continue to grow and grow our programs around coaching, which include today our pilot program around mentorship, which some of you in this room are actually part of, and to continue to build on a program that folks like Ty and others and Dana and Luke have actually started to work on for us way since the beginning. So continue to build that process up to help support you all. So that was all about just making more money. But money is not all that's important to you. I know it's very important to you, but it's not all that's important to you, because part of this is about getting your time back and feeling valued. I know many of you have many other things you'd like to do besides spending time launching campaigns on t-shirts. So our job here is to make that a whole lot easier for you. One of the things we launched, and you'll hear a whole lot more about as we think about how this integrates into our product, is our Teespring Creatives program. And that was really started with the mindset of giving you really high quality artwork, really beautiful artwork that will resonate within a very relevant audience within Facebook. Because as I said before, what we know about any advertising in other people's ecosystems is about building the most beautiful creative and making that creative very relevant. So between Teespring creatives and hash buyer emails, you can not only create great artwork for yourself, but you could target them in a very relevant way. And that should take the hassle out of building your own creatives. Second, and we heard this loud and clear, when we give you hashed emails, you need to be able to form your groups so that you can target those groups within the custom audiences. So we did a lot of work on trying to help untangle some of the finding your audiences back again. And we added a group message search function, and we helped you sort through your old campaigns. Because when you think about how many campaigns you guys launch on a daily basis, it's got to be pretty difficult to be able to find and group your audiences as effectively as possible. We'll continue to work on that. Archiving, same exact sort of mentality. Lots and lots of campaigns on a daily basis. You guys are out there pushing lots of material out there. We got to help you manage those campaigns over time, and we're going to continue to think about how to make this easier for you. But we launched archiving. One of the things I think is super important for you guys is to get a very quick read on how you're doing in terms of your performance. And one of the things we did on the back end was push out as quick reporting as we possibly could through real-time analytics. And that was one thing that may or may not affect you in the very immediate term, but you'll feel it over time as you start to see how closely you can associate your sales with your costs. And real-time analytics is a big part of that. And on top of that as well, we've revamped our referral analytics, and even more important, and I think this is something that's really exciting from my standpoint, and I hope you all start to get involved with this over time, is our APIs. So we can do a good job in helping you see your reports and get reports that are relevant to you, but I think many of you guys are better at knowing what you need. And so opening the hood on our back end and giving you hooks into our system over time will give you the opportunity to build your own reports and to have communities of people use our APIs to build reports that are super relevant to you. I mean, we are not an analytics house, but we are an e-commerce company. We got to give you the tools to help you actually be able to make the reports that are important to you. So that's all about less hassle. And then lastly, we are working on a campaign extension feature, which for campaigns that have zero sales, we're trying to make it easy for you so that you don't have to sit there and call in or write your customer support team, be able to extend campaigns without a lot of hassle. Lastly, worry-free, I think, is kind of, it's an intangible. It's hard to tell how to build worry-free for you guys, but I think it comes in this form. One of the big moves that we've made is to really support you 24/7 across the globe, which no other platform can do. And so what we stitched together, like Anthony said, is a global support team where you can actually feel free for your campaigns, if you have an issue, to be able to query that team and get an answer within 4 hours, which I think, you know, it feels like an eternity to some, but when you think about what goes into running a global support team, we have all of you folks and everybody around the globe in 130 countries. 4-hour turnaround is not so bad. So I aspire to get that even shorter. But coming from where we came from, I feel like we made a big step in terms of worry-free on the global support and tech side. And while I know many of you feel very frustrated when it comes to your ownership of your own work and making sure that you get represented and advocated for, I will tell you that we work very, very hard to make sure we do the best possible job we can in protecting your IP. It is not an easy job. It is not an easy job to eliminate crime. It is a job we take very seriously. We have a great team of people, and we have tremendous technology now that's going to help us understand where things are happening quicker. And we have new forms to help you communicate with our team, our trust and safety team, much more effectively. And I hope you feel that way. And I'm always happy to talk to you more about it and get your input on how we can make it better. But this to me, I know, is super important to you, and it's super important to us, and you should know that. But we're not finished. And we finished our first half of the year. I cannot rest on my laurels. Our team can't rest on our laurels. And what I want to say to you is that we have a whole lot more work to do. if nothing else, first half of this year was about getting you guys back on board. Because I think in many of our hearts, we thought maybe we were losing some of you guys because of the things that you felt we weren't listening to you about. So it was really, really focused on making sure we had a lot of things out there to make you guys feel better about Teespring. I think the second half of this year is really about fewer, more impactful items that are going to make your lives bigger and better in the long run, because we expect you to be here in the long run. So the second half of this year is starting to think about realizing the vision that Walker and Evan have started with and helping bring that to life in the second half of this year. And maybe I'm dating myself in terms of years, but I think of back in 1993, there was a great series of ads from AT&T. I remember the AT&T ads, you guys will laugh at this, but the ads were something like, imagine if you had a phone in your hand and you could talk to your kids right from wherever you are. So take that as the context, and I want you to imagine what life looks like at Teespring starting in this, as we start to roll out things in the second half of this year. I've been asked by my product management team to explain as many things as I can, but I would ask you all to know that these are things that we intend to work on, and we're going to do our best job to hit as many of these as we can in the best way we can. So first, picture the ideal storefront. Today at Teespring, that experience is going to get better, and we're going to help you feature your content with your brand and help you build your brand in whatever way you feel is important to you. So in terms of your name, your URL, the landing page, the way you present information, the way you present your brand, just picture your brand on your page as a place, a central place where you can go. Think about the fact that not only you have a great selection of upper body apparel, but now you got two other things to think about here, and probably more in Europe, but in particular in July, we have two things that we want you to really think about helping us grow within our world. One is mugs. So starting in July, you'll be able to get access to 11-ounce mugs, be able to print using sublimation, full color at launch, goal of 1. That's what mugs are going to look like in 1 month from now. Secondly, many of you may have already been working with totes, but think about how they go together. Think about how they go with apparel. And for those of you that have or have not worked with totes, these are 100% natural premium cotton canvas. They are designed by Teespring. They're strong, and they're goal of 1. So right off the bat in July, you have 2 more things you could sell with Teespring that carry your brand, your campaigns. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. The third thing is to think about how to leverage our Teespring Creatives tool, and think about how your ads can start to take on live models and how they can incorporate your artwork and how they can incorporate them on our products. I think we need to do a better job of helping you understand how to use this product, Teespring Creatives. We got to bring it out there more front and center, but we wanted to get it out so fast that I think we took the shortcut to get it out. Now it's time to adopt it. So I'm going to ask all of you guys, as you start to use your campaigns, to start using the Teespring Creative Act. But think about that. Think about how different you're going to look out there in the market relative to your competitors by using beautiful artwork within the context of the product themselves. Next, we're going to do our darndest to help you market these great items through a variety of channels. We have great channels. Today we work through a great channel with Facebook. And we want to build your businesses and help you also diversify your traffic sources. And we're going to help you do that at a great ROI. And Walker taught you a little bit about the marketplace, which is one place we encourage you to try and to understand, because we're going to help you create a much better ROI in your campaigns. But we also want you to think beyond today, which is where I think most of you spend your time working in the wonderful world of Facebook. There's also other ways we can start to build out our traffic. One being Pinterest, which I think would be, for the types of products we have, would be a great audience to be able to learn to work with. Second, just thinking out loud, these are some aspirational places we can start to think about, Snapchat and Twitter. Many of you guys use this organically, Some of you are going to start to learn about how to use it as an ad tool, and we're going to do our best to help bring the support to you to help you do that. Now, many of you guys are very, very good at doing advertising. You've got coaches. You've got folks that help you do this today, and I encourage you to work with your coaches to untangle some of the ways to work with these different channels. And I think we're all going to learn together, because this is a brand new frontier, I think, for everybody. In fact, I think many of the new marketing models came out of the t-shirt community when we started working with Facebook. And we hope over time we can continue to build that world for you through advertising. And this one, again, I've been asked to sort of explain just through words what it means to have a commerce experience. There's lots to it, and it's complicated. And I will tell you right now, there's a lot of pieces to building a great commerce experience. But I just want you to think about what it would look like if your customers can buy multiple items from Teespring at the same time and be able to put things together for your customers. I'll say no more, because I don't want to overpromise on my product management team, but we will work as hard as we can over time, and especially in this half of the year, to start building this dream out through our products, be able to provide them for your customers. And lastly, again, really important to us is that you understand that we believe you're the CEO of your business. We want you to get closer to your customers. We want you to build relationships with your customers. And we're going to do everything we can to ensure that that happens. And the first step of actually doing that was complying with policies, privacy policies, and ensuring that we have opt-ins for our customers or for your customers so that they can receive communications from you. So we've already started to empower our site to collect email addresses on your behalf so that over time we'll be able to have you market directly to your customer. So I leave you with this I say no more, but we are going to work very hard to make you feel much better about the fact of marketing to your audiences. We will make much clearer announcements as time goes on, but know that it's top of mind for us. And in fact, if you feel like you're not being heard, you can, I hope, feel rest assured after today and after seeing the last few minutes that probably everything I've often heard from you in helping you make your worlds better has been captured in this vision. And second half is when this is going to start happening. So I will say that this is all about making things a reality for you. Not everything will get done immediately, but we're going to make it happen. We are going to make this thing happen. We're going to change the way you market, help you make it better. So it will be here before you know it. Thank you all very much. Stretch your legs. Thank you very much. Get some refreshments and we'll talk.